We are starting to think less and less about trains as point A to point B and more about the experience between point A and point B. At Amtrak, our customers are at the center of everything we do. They drive us to enhance every aspect of their journey to ensure it's not just a ride, but an exceptional experience. Hey everyone, I'm Elliot Hamlish, EVP and Chief Commercial Officer, and I'm here today with Lisa Copeland, our Head of Customer Experience, to talk all things CX. What does that mean? Well, we're on a mission to go from transportation provider to hospitality powerhouse. And we're both using a little bit of that hospitality magic from our backgrounds to really transform the way we do business here at Amtrak. Lisa, welcome again. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, Elliot, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here and to be talking about the customer transformation at Amtrak. I would say throughout my career, I've always been really dedicated to understanding who our customers are. And that started with my first title, actually, was a consumer advocate for the frozen product at Purdue Foods. So I've always been really committed to understanding customers' needs and what they want. So customers really, I would say, baked into my DNA and something that excites me and motivates me every morning that I wake up. So I know that Amtrak has been on a mission and that we have done some incredible work to start moving towards this hospitality powerhouse. Can you share a bit more with what the team has been up to over the past year?
Yeah, so it turns out travel's not that fun for a lot of people, depending on their mode of choice, right? Being stuck in traffic on I-95, not that fun. Being stuck in a middle seat on an airplane, not that fun. Waiting in 3 or 4 hours in line for security at a TSA checkpoint.
I can relate to all of them.
Not that fun, right? Doesn't feel like hospitality, right? So we've been on a mission really over the last year to understand what customers like and what customers don't like, figuring out the right way to make that transition in a meaningful way. And that starts with training, right? Really even starts with hiring. Let's make sure we have the right folks that are coming with a service mentality, right? Service with a smile. It sounds really simple, not necessarily always easy to execute, right? And trying to differentiate our mode of transportation relative to some of those frustrations that others feel when they fly or when they drive. We recently launched a new campaign, which we call Retrain Travel. Cute, right? With the retrain, kind of fun little play on words. And the premise there is really juxtaposing some of those frustrations in a car or on a plane relative to all the goodness that comes when you're on a train, right? There are no middle seats. You can get up anytime you want and walk around. We've got great food in our cafe cars. And there's a freedom to train ridership that you just don't get on planes or on cars or in cars. And again, we're really focused on that transition, and it feels like we're just at the beginning right now. We've got $66 billion across the passenger rail industry, or the rail industry more generally, to invest in our infrastructure, to invest in new trains. And it feels like we've got just an amazing momentum as we are on this mission to become a hospitality powerhouse.
I love that and couldn't be more excited about the new campaign that's out there. But something that you said really resonated with me. It was a quote that I saw this morning that said, "Be the first person to smile today." And it's just this idea of service with a smile is so simple, but can go so far. It's these little moments that matter that can really make someone feel warm and feel welcomed. It's that move from just these transactions with our guests and with our passengers to actually building community and building relationship. And so when we think about this opportunity for Amtrak, let's call them these little warm chocolate chip moments of just these warm embraces, these warm touches. I think it comes down to 3 pillars that we can really lean into. One is around a focus on service. The other is a focus on experience. And the third, I would say, is focus on that satisfaction. So when we think about the opportunity to focus on service, I'm really leaning into this idea of just service with a smile. I love it because it's so much more than just getting a passenger from point A to point B. But imagine a world where you actually receive a text message from the conductor the minute you're onboarded, and it says, "Hello, Elliot. Thank you so much for riding today. I'm Jim. If there's anything that you need, please don't hesitate to let me know." Or imagine a world where this is actually your 10th trip in the past 2 months, and we're just welcoming you on board and recognizing that it's your 10th trip. Or maybe there's a moment that we surprise and delight you by giving you a free drink coupon. There's so much opportunity if we can just focus on service and getting that right in the moment, and even before your trip or after your trip. And what I love about the work that we've done as a commercial team is we're starting that prioritization with the customer in mind. So what are they actually looking for? What do they want? What do they need? What do they love? And so, Elliot, I know that you have a background with AMC. And I have to say, one of the things I've loved about every AMC experience I've had is the buttered popcorn. Like,
It's good popcorn.
Resist.
It's good popcorn.
So when we think about prioritization and we think about just what our customers love, what would you say is the thing that keeps them coming back to Amtrak?
Yeah, it's all about the experience, right? That's the one thing that truly differentiates riding on a train relative to sitting in a car or sitting on a plane. You don't have big picturesque windows in a car or on a plane.
Very true.
The scenery looks a little bit different when you're riding through the Rocky Mountains on the California Zephyr than sitting in traffic or 38,000 feet up in the air, where the clouds look great, but you're not in the middle of it all as you are.
You actually have no idea where you are in those moments.
You don't, yeah, which is a little scary. It was a little scary. Historically, I think a number of folks have thought about train travel and travel in general as getting you from point A to point B. We are starting to think less and less about trains as point A to point B and more about the experience between point A and point B. And you talked a lot earlier about the booking process, right? Let's make sure that that's frictionless. Let's make sure that the stations are inviting, and then again, we've got service with a smile from everybody, from the person who greets you at the station to onboard and when you get off as well. And we're really over-indexing on thinking about from A to B, how do we make sure that we're really optimizing that experience and the journey along the way, which nobody's thinking about on our collective behalf when we're driving, right? There's nobody who wakes up in the morning and thinks about how do I really optimize the driving experience, right, from point A to point B.
So true.
And yes, they give that a lot of thought in the aviation community, but we're able to do it in a way that others can't. Right? And so as we, again, continue on this hospitality journey, really focusing on what we can do to make that experience the best it can possibly be is something that's particularly top of mind. Food and beverage also plays a really big role in the customer experience. We launched a new Cafe Acela menu earlier this year. For those who haven't tried it, the artesian cheese plate, pretty outstanding, right? So give it a try if you haven't. It's the holistic experience, F&B and food and beverage included, that makes it, right? That makes that journey a special one. And so it's that and 1,800 other things that we're focused on to really optimize that customer experience in the ways that matter most.
Actually, when I'm on board, I like to try something new every single time I get on board. And I know that dining is a focus in improving not just the F&B, but the experience. Can you talk a little bit to some of the pilot programs that we have in place that we're trying out and testing right now?
Yeah, so turns out people love traditional dining, right? And that, for many of our long distance routes, is a differentiator from an experience perspective. So it's not just hop into the cafe car and pick out the sandwich that you like and go sit back in your seat and experience it, which is also great, right? Because we've got great sandwiches aboard all of our trains. But from a traditional dining perspective, you've actually got a white tablecloth and you've got china and silverware and a server who's bringing you the food that you're ordering off a beautiful menu. And it's a great experience. And people like it and they want more of it. We don't have traditional dining on all of our routes. So one of the things that we've recently piloted is something called Flex Plus dining, which is getting closer to traditional dining. So you've got the tablecloth and you've got the plates and the silverware, and the meals that are prepared are not prepared by a chef as they are in traditional dining, but a bit quicker. But you get the same experience in a lot of ways that you do in traditional dining. And when you're comparing not having any service like that relative to Flex Plus, it's been a home run, right? So everybody's really enjoyed it. And again, we're trying to bring that traditional dining experience to routes that haven't necessarily had it historically, and it's been really well received.
I love that. And one of the things I actually noticed about that pilot is I think fresh florals are included in your dining experience.
Absolutely.
And who doesn't love dining with fresh florals? I would do that all day long.
Fiscal year 24 was a record year for Amtrak with nearly 33 million customers served. That's a big number. And we couldn't be more excited to retrain travel and really take that to heart as we think about fiscal year 25 and beyond. We've got new trains coming out, we're revamping our stations, we're focused on customer experience training, and all of that holistically packaged means a transformation of our company from transportation provider to hospitality powerhouse. And we couldn't be more excited to bring it to you.